You've had this feeling your entire life. So have I. This feeling that something is utterly wrong with this world. I know that feeling more than anyone. Feels so alienating sometimes, especially as a child. You get used to it though, don't you? So many people are so desensitized to this feeling, to this innate questioning, this innate intuition that something is wrong. And we all see it, I'm sure. Going to school. Who enjoyed going to school? Nobody. Nobody. Who thinks it's meaningful to keep a job just to pay your bills? Just to be able to survive, to be able to continue to attend to the job that fuels your basic survival. It's empty, it's hollow, it's a splinter in your mind, and you know it. So many people distract themselves. They don't want to feel the discomfort. It is discomforting, isn't it? This world, the wheels of this world run on suffering. Your suffering. Mine. Suffering is a particular state which exudes an energy that is of benefit to other beings, parasitic beings, mind you. And so these beings have constructed this world in such a way to maximize suffering. So that not only do we suffer in our day-to-day lives, just trying to survive, you also suffer emotionally, intellectually, psychologically. You suffer through your very own thinking. You have a split in your own psyche. Psyche originally meaning soul. Your soul is split. The fact that you have a soul proves what? You are split. And you are not only split from your soul, because the soul itself is divided. It is existent in a realm of division too. Because even if you were to leave this realm, even if you were to pass on, what do you think would happen? What has happened to the thousands of people that we have near-death experiences of? What has happened to the past life regression hypnosis session people that we have accounts from? When we gather the pieces of the puzzle, we get a quite vivid picture that this realm, as well as the realm that encompasses this one, the afterlife, if you will, are both one and the same. Controlled, hierarchical, judgmental, karmic-bound prisons of our souls. And at the same time, we are free from it. That's the perplexity, that's the paradox. Because whilst this is a prison, whilst we are possibly some people infinitely carnating into this realm, there is still that awareness, that consciousness, that pristine beingness, which is untouched by all of it, which doesn't suffer, which is not fazed by any antics of this world. And so isn't it curious that we find ourselves in this position, this paradoxical position of knowing that there are in fact beings that run this world. I don't just mean human beings, because we quite clearly see that, yeah, there are human beings that govern mind, the control of this world. But there are also an undercurrent, an interdimensional undercurrent that ebbs and flows in the direction of more and more control. And we see that displayed in so many ways. But I want to shed some light on what people report when they die. So you're met with spirit guides, and they display a 360 view of your entire life. So you are to rewatch your entire life, the life that you just lived. And they put you in the position of judging yourself. They claim that they don't judge you, but later on they will use your own judgment of yourself against you. They will use your assessment to assert whether or not you think that you deserve to make up for your wrongs. And obviously, as an empathic being, you don't want to hurt. You don't want to make others suffer because you know you feel that suffering yourself. And so they flip the script against you. They turn yourself against yourself. And it is so cunning, in fact, to use empathy against us. To use the very fact of compassion as a force of evil. But alas, it is so that when you assess your life, and of course we have all done wrong, I've done plenty of wrong. I'm sure I will still continue to hurt other beings throughout my life. And so that can be used against me, if I'm susceptible, of course. But the moment you enter into this veil, there is the forgetfulness. Not only in this realm of incarnating here, most of us don't remember a bloody thing coming into this world. But even when you cross over, you are washed clean of your memory even then. Because they can't have you knowing all that you know. So they better clear out the little details so that they can imprint the narrative that they seek for you. And so it has all been laid out very intelligently, very technologically even, so that when you review your life, your only possible assessment is that you could have done better. I could have done better. There are things that I would have done differently. There are people that I want to make it up to, right? And so that writes the script for your next life. Because your spirit guide then goes on to condition you through lessons and lessons, which, mind you, on this level, you already have pure knowing. You can ask any question that you like and have the answer to that instantaneously. And so you have lived countless lives trying to learn, allegedly, about what it means to be a human. And so how many lives do you think it requires to get an overview of what it really means to be a human? I think that in this just one particular life here, there's ample evidence of what this experience entails. And so imagine that there's been thousands of lives. Do you think there is so much utility to return over and over to learn menial lessons? To learn lessons that are so obvious, so transparent, especially seen from this grandiose view of not being deeply embedded in it, of being able to sit back and just watch. When you have that knowing, that perspective on your entire life, to be able to see it from another angle, of not being involved in the stories and the feelings and the thoughts of all of it, right? That gives you clear perception. And with that clear perception, there is no need then to incarnate anymore, is there? Because you are incarnating without memory. You are not coming back here knowing what you intended to know on a soul level. You are erased, memory wiped. And so any lessons that you might learn or any information that you might gather is rendered completely useless. Useless. And so your spirit guide and your spirit group, your soul family, if you will, are all there to condition you, to prepare you to return back here. Because their sole purpose is to trick you for another round. Because they know that if you just believe enough in this next life, that at the end of this next life, you will once again be brought back before this 360 screen to rewatch your life once again, make the same assessment, and return once more. You are never going to have a perfect incarnation. Never. Never. I can't possibly imagine that a single human being can ever perfect their life to such a degree that they can rid themselves of karma. You can meditate for an entire lifetime, for multiple lifetimes. You can do all the rituals. You can walk around the mountains and do all sorts of things, tricks and what have you, in an attempt to clear yourself of karma. But you will only ever be free of karma once you release yourself from the idea that karma is even a thing in the first place. That this karma is even yours in the first place. You are more than that. We are all more than that. And that is the part of you that knows that all this is wrong. The part of you that intuits, that knows deeply, and has known your entire life, maybe for multiple lives. Will this be your last? Or will you continue on? That is the question. Because now that you know, what will you do with that knowledge? The cards have been dealt for your life, sure. They were dealt before you even came here. The script is already written. Now you have the power, with consciousness, free agency, to rewrite the scripts. How you go about it is up to you. But you are the creator. And don't let anybody fool you. Because it is quite easy to fall into the many traps of this realm. To think yourself in a particular way. To position yourself, to identify yourself. And so the purpose here really must be to free yourself of coming back here. And the way that I see it, the quintessential point, the key points to do so, is to see through illusion, is to see through identification. Because what you identify yourself with or as is what you are limited by. So once you dissociate from these falsehoods, what is left? What is left when you remove the untrue? Well, obviously it can only be the true. Because when you see through all the layers of illusion, when you peel the onion, what is left at its core when you peel all the layers? No thing. You are not a thing. You cannot be defined. You don't have descriptive qualities. Anything that can be qualified cannot be what you are. So when you see that, when you know that, when you feel it, experientially, there is a glimpse, a touch, a taste, a smell of freedom. And that freedom speaks to you. It has spoken to you, it whispers, and it has your entire life. And I want you to start tuning in. Even now, just take a moment to be, to notice the vibrancy, the aliveness of existence itself. Because that which animates everything is beyond all things. And that intelligence, that lifeblood is what you are. You, the truest part of you, not the illusory, what you truly are, must be what is real. If anything is real at all, how can you know it for sure? The only way that you can know what is real is to go through your experience and determine. And what do you find? You find that the only thing that you can possibly know is you. Is that I am. And that knowingness, that existence, devoid of separation, cannot be taken away from you, because there cannot be an absence of that existence. You cannot have an experience of not existing. No such thing makes sense. And so we have this anchor, this knowingness. And let that be your anchor. Let that be your guiding compass. Let that be the freedom within the prison, knowing that you are not on the wrong side of the bars. That is really the key point here, is to know on which side of the prison bars that you are positioned. Thank you for tuning in, for listening. If these words are of any value to you, I would very much appreciate a comment down below to let me know. Please do check out the Discord link in the description. Join my small, modest community. And let's have a chat. Thank you. Bye.